A pleasant good evening to you all. I'm Shane Harris, and welcome to SHT Season 2, the finale. The last episode before all the greatness that is called Mayhem, which will begin in December. But we, of course, have to deal with the preliminary stuff. The rules, making the brackets, filling out all the basic info of each show behind each poster, all that other fun stuff, plus I gotta get through Thanksgiving. Well, here we are. This is the last of Season 2, and it's quite fitting because we're still stuck in Canada for this one. And just like Jade Armor, Wishfart, and DNA's, this one happens to be another show that Ben Z. Johnson did a review on. That show is OLLIE'S PACK, the only Shane Harris Tonight representative to be owned by Paramount. Or to make it a lot more easier for you viewers to remember, CBS. Because they're effectively the same company at this point. Skydance this, Viacom that, blah, 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 blah. Same company. It's still CBS in my mind. Anyway, this show had a bit of a rough start to its life. It began as a little pilot called Monster Pack, which was part of Nickelodeon's 2013 pilot series. Like, projects. And for how unique it was given the green light. By the way, you can actually watch the pilot in the description below, which was officially uploaded by Nick themselves. However, the pilot got eclipsed big time by the network's next big draw. Another pilot that was developed in 2013 that would later gain fame and a little bit of infamy as well, that being The Loud House. No introduction is needed for that series, but this forced this neat little gem to be living under a shadow for good. And it even hurt some of the momentum the show even had during development and even when it first came on the air. In the late 2010s, early 2020s in Canada through YTV, and around the same time, the early 2020s, just after 21 or 22, on Nick in the States. Now, the name Monster Pack was kind of so they decided to rename it to OLLIE'S Pack because that's your main character, Oliver, aka Ollie Allen. By the way, rocking the old Bruins brown and yellow, by the way, from a handful of decades ago. But the main basis of the show is kind of by the books. You have this whimsical character who happens to be friends of all these crazy monsters that he gets to carry around. While at the same time, he copes with normal life with two other characters who are human, plus another random character. The series does have a 50-50 mix of episodic and storyline. Of course, the first few is storyline, the rest are episodic, and it kind of feels decent, should I say. The theme music is okay at best. The voice acting, pretty good, despite not having any major names on there, as of I can tell. And the only major issue I have, other than the network's handling of this project that would later be developed by Nelvana, but owned by Paramount / CBS, happens to be, well, the availability after the show ended. The only way you can actually watch it is either you buy the series digitally or try to dig through Paramount Plus if you can. I think you could be lucky to find it on Pluto TV. I don't know. But you just gonna have to look. The show did air in other countries through multiple different international Nick outlets, so it won't be that hard. So, at the end of the day, the show does what it does. It's just there. Kind of reminds me of when Elliot from Earth came around. It looked good, it sounded fine, but the network just treated it as it was just filler, which is unfortunate. What is also unfortunate is that this is the end of Season 2. Mayhem Tournament coverage will begin in December with the actual voting, but we gotta do our preliminary videos coming up within the next few weeks as I break down the rules and also deliver you a little hype short to promote this second edition of Mayhem. Till then, I'm Shane Harris, and we will see you next Friday night for the rules of Mayhem.